Hey everyone, good to be back. Stoked to get another video out there. It was a good week. We had two news releases, so I'm going to go over those, give you my thoughts, and yeah, I'll probably talk a little bit about Q3 coming towards the end of the video, and just kind of dates and stuff looking forward. So let's dive right into it. So yeah, we got changes to board of directors. We've got Charles Andre Tessier and Mark Dumas have agreed to resign from the board of directors to make way for two new members, Carol Penhole and Dylan Tinker. So, you know, the news release goes into their background and, definitely a well-experienced addition to the Tenet team. I'm sure they're going to be a little more well-suited to where Tenet's going and the future of the business. As far as their backgrounds, LinkedIn, Carol Penhale here basically says just she's got experience in operations management, new business development, global sales development, financial services, right? So it's right in Tenet's kind of wheelhouse right now for where they're trying to go. 20 plus years experience, and most importantly, what her and Dylan Tinker are going to bring to the table are a bunch of new connections too. So they've both been in it for a while. Always good to mix up the blood around there, and Ten will be able to meet some people and make some connections with businesses that they maybe didn't have access to before, or maybe didn't even know were out there. So as far as Dylan, he's got a lot of business operations experience in Asia, as well as corporate finance, raising money, 12 IPOs, 20 secondary market TMT transactions for over 5 billion raised. So, I'm sure he'll be instrumental in Tenet when they're, seeking more capital over the coming years. So, two great additions to the board of directors for Tenet, in my opinion. So, but let's really dive into what we got going on here for the second one, the business hub. So the launch date is November 30th. I talked about this a little bit before, how, a stretch goal for these guys might be getting this thing launched before Singles Day and Couples Day. And it looks like that, they've got a special event scheduled now, and they're going to be kicking it off. So I'm glad to see that they're going to get it out there before then. I'm sure they're already working with their partners in China, and there's probably some requests from their Chinese partners to get this implemented for these shopping events. So I think this is going to be a very important thing to realize maybe not, percentage wise for their overall revenues, but still some significant revenue figures before the end of the year, right? And transactions and that kind of stuff, right? So basically this is going to be organized in collaboration with the Asia Pacific Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, so APA SME. And that's great because this is the first time we got an official news release that they are going to be working with them, right? So we had it in the Form 7, but now it's in a news release. So it's just another great partnership for Tenet, and they're really making strides here in Canada, just like they did in China, as far as these business partnerships and collaborations, and it's all great stuff that I'm glad to see. Again, they mentioned that they've hired more than 50 employees, right? We know they're right around 60 in Canada in 2022, and they want to get to nearly 100 by the end of the year, right? So that's to support all their business stuff and they're adding. So the thing to keep in mind about with Cubular and their AI software is, it is a little more intensive to get integrations. The way it works is, companies have to kind of integrate them through APIs into their accounting software. So Tank gets to see all that transactional data, and that's how kind of Cubular works. So they can understand for facilitating loans and assigning risk and stuff to the business, right? So, but it also is the thing that gives them access to all the data that they're going to be able to leverage. So the more businesses that they can add, the faster they can add. That requires employees, it requires personnel to handle those integrations, and a sales and marketing team to reach out and get get those companies flowing into for their tech teams to facilitate those integrations, right? And just keep building out those SMEs and cranking those overall figures up higher. So it's really great to see that. Like I said, hit the ground running at on the launch date, and hopefully we'll see some real transactions go through before the end of the year. Because the thing that we don't want at the end of the year is another impairment charge. They did get nailed by a pretty hefty one at the end of last year. It's not money lost, but still looks really bad for the net income line, right? So we want to make sure that they're up and running and doing good business. So there's no goodwill or impairment on the books of the company. So as far as Q3 goes, we're about a week away, a little over a week away. Hopefully that means as well, based on last communications at the company for the next uplist, we could be weeks away from a Canadian uplist as well. So, just, keep doing what you're doing and, get past that time and be patient. And, I'm really excited to see these numbers. It's, maybe we can see somewhere between 15 and 20% gross margins, which would be amazing. I think we have a pretty good shot at it just based on, supply chain numbers might be a little bit down this quarter just to the lockdown. So maybe we'll have a lot larger revenue appreciation in the other verticals. So we see that gross margin. And again, I'm still kind of sticking with my between 40 and 50 million for the quarter. So we'll see if it comes in below. That's okay too, as long as I see those gross margins. So anyways, that's what I'm looking for. Really, we just got to watch those steadily increase quarter over quarter. Revenues. I wouldn't be too sad if we are under 40 million, or I should say I wouldn't be too worried if we're under that 40 million mark as far as hitting the yearly guidance, because there's a lot more coming down the pipeline. We know we got the clean tech coming up in Q3, and just a wide open Chinese economy till the rest of the year. There has been a lot of concerns and stuff coming from people about real estate crashes in China and these regulatory changes and all that kind of stuff, right? And my kind of thing is, even with Taiwan, if there is issues there, Tenet's not going to shut down their business in China. They're still going to be continue to do what they can. They'll continue to look for opportunities to expand their businesses and their reach. And, sometimes out of all this craziness comes those opportunities. So, it could negatively affect the business, but it could also be positive. So, it hasn't really increased my risk the way I view the company. I mean, as it is right now, or it is a higher risk investment to begin with, but the return and the outsized ratio there is just still too good to pass up. We still have a lot of bad news baked in the stock price, and it hasn't come back yet. So I think a lot of that uncertainty is already in there. So just as we keep churning through, we keep knocking down these dominoes and really advancing, and things start to look better. The amount of upside we have on coming out of this is still much larger than any potential downside at this point, in my opinion. So anyways, not financial advice, but this is what I'm doing. I'm still sticking along and strong, and continue picking up whatever cheap shares and warrants come my way. So I'm starting to add again, and we'll see where we get to by the end of the year. So thanks again for listening. Trying to keep it under 10 minutes. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and hopefully see you in a week to go over the Q3 financials.